Hello, everybody, and welcome back to LRN, where today we are talking about celebrities in the world of F1 and this ongoing just theme of celebrities just rejecting Martin Brundle during the famous grid walk and seemingly not knowing even who he is. So we talk about why are they there? What is the purpose? What is the benefit? What should be happening? Should F1 be doing more? Should drivers be doing more? Or should they just be banned altogether from the F1 grid? And I think as a whole, as an entity, I wouldn't ban them. And I also just want to say, first of all, massive respect to Martin Brundle for putting up with it. He always makes us laugh. And I think one of the reasons maybe to keep doing it is just because he deals with it so well. The pit stop gag that he came out with the Brad Pitt incident most recently was fantastic. He just brushes it off and gets on with it. And for that, I think he's absolutely brilliant. So if you love Martin Brundle, hit a like on the video because he is fantastic. But I think the bigger question is, why are they even there when they don't even clearly care about the sport? Now, we know in the case of Brad Pitt, he's making an F1 movie. But if you're making an F1 movie, you should know who Martin Brundle is. He's there as a guest of Mercedes, of Lewis Hamilton. He's apparently very close with Lewis Hamilton. And of course, he should be studying and learning about the world of F1 for his film that he's planning on putting out. And if that is the case, when you see Martin Brundle, one, know who he is. Two, know that he is the voice of our sport. No matter how many times I'm told it is Crofty, it isn't. It's Martin Brundle. And you should know who he is. If you are a fan of F1, if you've indulged in F1 at all over the years, you should know who he is and you should respect him. And not only that, you should be excited to be part of an interview with Martin Brundle on one of his grid walks. It's a huge part of the weekend, something everybody looks forward to. And to not know who he is and to just shrug him off like he's just some fan looking to get a signature, to me, is absolutely horrendous. And those celebrities who don't know who he is should not be attending Grand Prix because they're clearly not fans of Formula One. They are clearly there just for the PR, just to be seen, because it's obviously, Brad Pitt as an example, of course, he's doing his film. But if you look at other celebrities along the way, we had Megan Thee Stallion with her bodyguards pushing Brundle away. We had the same thing with Serena Williams with her bodyguards pushing him away. And it's just not a good look. It's not a good look for the celebrities because it makes him look really, really poor. But I think most importantly, it becomes clear that they're not there for any love of the sport. They're there on an invitation, maybe because certain drivers like Lewis Hamilton want to be seen to be, with these A-list celebrities. But if you do not care about the sport, don't show up. Don't turn up. I don't care about your PR. I don't care how important you think you are. If you are going to be there, you respect the people that are important to the world that you are putting yourself in. You are not more important than the people around you, especially in the case of Martin Brundle. We as fans are there to hear him talk to the drivers, the team owners, the team principals, whoever it is. We want to hear from people in F1. And sometimes, very rarely, we do get celebrities who are actually really cool. Sometimes they're just up for a really good chat. I think for me, one of my favourites from recent memory was at Monaco. Patrick Dempsey from Grey's Anatomy. He was awesome because he's a racer himself. He runs his own team, obviously in different formula. But he loves the sport, so he could talk eloquently about what was going on, who he's supporting, why, when he started getting into racing, what his view was, what he thought about the strategies that were going to happen. And that was really cool, right? And that's great for the sport. And if you are trying to advertise the sport, having celebrities who are clearly really involved and really into it and can talk passionately are going to give fans go, oh, well, he loves it, so maybe, it is something I should get into. When you have these celebrities coming along who clearly just don't care, that doesn't help anyone at all. It doesn't help the look for the celebrity. It doesn't help the sport. It doesn't help the PR. It doesn't help get new fans. It just doesn't help anyone. And as I say, I do love watching Martin Brundle deal with it, but he shouldn't have to. First and foremost, he shouldn't have to be dealing with these celebrities. Maybe just ban them from bringing bodyguards. Or, even better, if you're Lewis Hamilton or any other driver, we saw who was the guest of Red Bull? I can't remember who Red Bull had as their guest as well. I think Brad Pitt went into their garage. I think he was doing the rounds. But the fact is, he's around enough of the drivers, he's around the teams, he's got people he should have people briefing him and going, look, if you're going to go out on the grid walk, we've got Martin Brundle, he comes out, he talks to celebs, he talks to drivers. If you see him, go and say hello, just give him a few words. It's a big part of our sport. Brief him. If you're Lewis Hamilton, who's apparently friends with Brad Pitt, brief him, tell him about your sport, tell him what to expect. Stop these things from happening and stop these waves of bodyguards who are acting like they're going to get, people are there for the Formula One. They're not there for you, right? So Formula One, get involved, interject. If these celebrities want to be on that grid, they can maybe have one person with them and brief them on who is part of the F1 world. Tell them about Martin Brundle. Tell them if he comes over, you talk to him. He is part of the production. If you want us to invite you into our world, you have to give something back. You have to participate. And if celebrities aren't willing to do that, I'm sorry, ban them. Just get rid of them. If they can't prove they're actually there, if they love the sport, don't let them in. Fundamentally, don't let them in. They add absolutely nothing to the weekend. It takes away the very short amount of time we get on the grid walk as it is. I want to hear from the drivers. I want to hear from the team owners. And I'm happy to hear from celebrities if they've got something to add and offer. And if they see Martin Brundle and go, I want to talk to him, not even have to wait for him to come to them. They should want to talk to him first and foremost because he's Martin Brundle, because he's the voice of the sport, because the grid walk is a famous part of an F1 weekend, and if they really are a fan of the sport, they would be excited to be involved and to be interviewed with him and to be part of the F1 production, knowing that it's going to go out to a worldwide audience, because they have a brain and they should think that that's good for their PR. It makes them look good. Positive social media, tweets, whatever, they are going to come off of it looking far better than if they are just videoed with their bodyguards pushing him away, clearly not caring who he is or knowing who he is in the first place. So that's my view. I think, as I say, I wouldn't ban celebs as a whole. I think F1 and drivers and whoever invites these people as guests need to do more to brief them on what's expected of them on the grid, who they should expect to see, and specifically Martin Brundle as that one entity who, look, you can ignore other people, but if he comes over, you give him your time. It's not that difficult. It's not a hard thing to do. Just a couple of sentences, but be proactive. Know a little bit about the sport you're going to see. And if you don't want to be interviewed, stay off the grid. Just stay off the grid. The drivers are too busy actually getting ready for the race anyway. So if you've been invited by one of them, they're not there for you. They're there to get ready for the race. They're trying to get in the right headspace. They don't need you there. Just stay out the way. But if you are going to do it, then you have to join in with the world of F1. You have to allow him to interview you. You have to make sure that you actually care about the sport you're there to see. And if you don't, stay at home, go somewhere else, go see American sports, because it keeps being the American celebrities that are doing this. Obviously in the case of, say, Serena Williams, Megan Thee Stallion, now Brad Pitt, just go away. As I say, sometimes we do get some humour out of it, and I love Martin Brundle for that, but I don't think that's what he wants. He's great at brushing it off, but at the end of the day, that isn't what he wants. It isn't what we want. Do any of you really care what any of these people have to say about the sport? If they're not genuinely invested in it and don't have something decent to add to the conversation, let me know in the comments, because I definitely don't. I just want to hear from people who either love F1 or are part of F1. And I think being a celebrity doesn't discount you from that. You are not more important than what you're there to apparently see. So just either stay out the way or learn about the sport first and foremost and be briefed. Formula One drivers, brief your friends, brief your celebrity friends on what to expect so that they do not make an ass of themselves and give Martin Brundle a hard time when he's just trying to do his job. I just hate to see it. I think he deserves better than that. I think F1 is better than that. And I don't think we need them. We don't need celebrities. F1 will succeed without seeing them on the grid walks. Genuinely won't make any difference to Formula One because people are not there for the celebrities. Celebrities are there because it gets them presence on social media, on other platforms, because they're seen to be at big events. So they need Formula One more than Formula One needs them in those instances. So show that gratitude, talk to Martin Brundle, and if you have nothing to say, stay off the grid. That's my views on it. Let me know yours in the comments below, but definitely one that's been really annoying me every time I see celebrities just pushing him away. I don't want to see it anymore. They need to get a grip on it. And I look forward, hopefully, to seeing that happen. But I don't hold out much hope that they'll do it because, of course, Formula One just want to be seen with the glitz and the glamour. And even though they could put in a simple fix, like actually just having a conversation with these people, they won't do it. I really don't think they'll do it. I've got no faith that they will, but they definitely should. And if you agree with me, hit a like on the video, let me know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for all the latest F1 news and fan opinion. We are, of course, still waiting for the results of the FIA investigation. We know it's been agreed. I don't know if it's going to be today or in the next couple of days, but we should finally get the result and the full report of what the spend was, what the reason they went over was, and what the agreed penalties are. So make sure you're subscribing and hitting that bell icon to be notified when the results come up and our reaction to whatever the penalty turns out to be for Red Bull for breaching the cost cap. And we'll be out with any other latest news as well over the coming days. So make sure you're subscribed for all the latest F1 news and information. Otherwise, just going to thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.